niggas than you do with, I don't know, punk kids.
All right, hold on before you do that.
Yeah.
Sweatle, do not curse or say anything fucked up because it's going live.
That's a good thing to do.
Just please don't say anything like that. Just
you're right.
Don't be yourself.
You were right to warn me, because I would have said some bad things.
All right, you're good.
Well, I already clicked live, so that whole interaction was the very first thing that everyone's gonna hear. Welcome to Babetalk, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we're starting the show. Matty warning his studio audience before we go live.
Swettle's in the house.
Scum Crew, what's up?
Straight up, though. Man. I hope Paul Brown's watching.
So, you know what? I don't know. I might text Paul Brown, and he'll probably just tell me to fuck off unless it's not pertaining to comics. So I'll have to see what's going on.
That sounds about right.
Oh,
like the only way to get Paul Brown to pay attention is that if you tell him that there's a comic that needs to be read, or if there's someone talking shit on the scene, and then he'll like burst through a door and he'll just like give everyone the riot act of you need to love everything.
Yeah. Is there a way to like chime him in this?
You know what? I could probably I'll you know what I'll do? At least halfway through this, I'm gonna FaceTime him and see if he has anything to say to you.
That's so sick.
Hell yeah.
I support that 100%.
And that will be done. I will be doing that right before we go on to the interview. But first, we do have to address the fact that Matty Carlock is on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a rousing hand for him. All one person here.
Ooh, yay.
Ooh, yay. Matty does his own solo shit. He describes himself as kind of like a punk acoustic act. Matty, how would you describe yourself?
As a singer of songs.
True. And that's what we do on this show. We interview singers of songs.
Yeah. Well, no, there's no way. There's no walls. I do R&B songs. I'll sing on hooks for rappers. I'll front hardcore bands that I have. You know, I have done that. I put out hardcore records, but I'll sing, you know, folk, country, anything. I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter. You know, performer. So
that is true. So kind of like a Renaissance man within the music scene.
Right. I guess, yeah.
Makes sense. Well, I'm happy to be interviewing you because you're coming from my hometown of home city of Atlantic City. I've been very in depth as to who's been playing out there, and you've been someone I've been wanting to talk to for a long while. I've been taking enough of your fucking photos, so I might as well talk to you.
Yeah, it's gotta be deleted. Delete all my ugly mug photos. So I gotta go.
Yep. So that I don't break my camera and break my computer. Just get rid of all the Matty Carlock stuff.
I just got a coffee at Whole Foods. It's really good. It's really good. I don't know what.
Whole Foods?
Yeah, they have like a coffee bar. It's mad tight.
Where are you? Are you still in Jersey?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had Whole Foods in Jersey. I didn't know like we met the economical line to have a Whole Foods in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah. Oh, I'm from Central Jersey.
There's no such thing as Central Jersey.
You're one of them. Oh my gosh. Yes, there is.
Oh, come on. Really?
You're South Jersey. Central Jersey is like Asbury, like Red Bank, and North Jersey is like Montclair. Monmouth County is Central Jersey.
That still falls within South Jersey, and you and I both know that.
Hey, there's a Central Jersey tab on Craigslist, so.
Yeah, but you can also find like $20 hand jobs on Craigslist. That doesn't mean I'm gonna go out and like recognize it.
But Sweatle, they saw your ad. You saw your ad. Like Sweatle, just like God. Who's?
Did you just bust me with $20 hand jobs?
Lord.
It's like, oh man, I'm not looking in the right places.
This is effed up.
Now, Tinder.
This is how we started. I don't
know what Tinder is. I don't mess with that.
All the coobs are on Tinder.
I don't know what that. I'm wifed out and shit. I'm afraid of my girlfriend. So
same. Like, and it's weird. I mean, like, we're coming from two different lifestyles, like, culturally. I tried Tinder for about like a week, and I think I was too black. I couldn't find anyone at all. Like, I should have put an acoustic guitar. Well, no. There's plenty of black people on Tinder, but like I guess they can sense. I mean, like, what other nigga have you seen that's into like the punk scene? Once people look at the blackface, they're like, oh, he should be in like the urban culture, and then I say like, yo, like suppy, and they're like, oh shit, he's pop punk, and then no one wants me. And then like all the white girls would be like, oh, he says suppy, but he's black, so then they don't want me either. It's like I'm in purgatory. But then I found my girlfriend, so it worked out very well.
Is she like Man Overboard?
She recognizes Man Overboard as a band, but I have yet to get an actual opinion from her, and I kind of don't want to pry into that in case she'll leave me.
I think that's
Okay. I love Zach. Zach is Zach.
Yeah, and you know, we also had Zach on the show too.
Really?
Yeah. Do you remember when he came down to the Boneyard for that acoustic show?
Right. Yeah. I was gonna play.
Yeah. Oh, you should have. That would have actually been really tight.
Jared did it though. I'm pretty sure.
I think Jared. Oh yeah, Jared and I think Jeff played too.
Jeffy?
Jeff.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Jeff is an Earthling.
Jeff is indeed an Earthling.
Earthling.
Earth. That's my Ebonics kind of coming out. But he came on the show. I walked up to him like a little scared, nerd that loved pop punk, and I was like, "Do you want to come on my podcast?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And it was probably one of the tightest episodes we've had. He was very candid, very He was cool. He was cool people.
Awesome. Yeah, he's great. We hung out for a while. We were working with him for a little bit with my old band, and he's the best. He's so nice.
Yeah. But you know what? We're not here to talk about Zach. We're here to talk about you, and it's all about you tonight. It is your birthday. It's your birthday on Babetalk. How about that?
Birthday.
Birthday for the Earthling.
Yeah. ASAP Earthling.
Jesus Christ.
It's ASAP Earthling. I swear to God, I'm changing my Twitter. The moment I get off of this, I'm changing my Twitter to ASVP Earthling.
ASAP Earthling.
Too good. But so what'd you do? What did you do today? What did you partake in? Pleasure-wise.
Well, we've been working on videos. We've been kind of camping out here. We've been working on. Well, first, give me one of those things. Let me see. Hold on.
Chilling. We're going through and seeing what. Ooh, those look so good.
We got albums.
For those that are actually listening to the podcast, Matty is currently showing us the CD format of his EP that will be coming. No, full album, right?
It's a collection of songs. It's 7 songs. It's a record.
It's a record. There we go. True.
Yeah, it's a little more than an EP, but I mean, whatever. I guess it's an album, right?
Yeah. Well, it's weird. Like I've seen some kids that are nowhere near close to the music industry give way in as to how long like an EP or an album is, and I think what we all came to the conclusion was if it's more than like 22 minutes, I think it's an album, or it's a long play.
Yeah, this is definitely they're pretty long songs. So yeah.
All right. So there we go.
If it was vinyl, it'd be on
full album.
Yeah. So
it'll be on what?
A 12-inch, like a big.
It'll be on a 12-inch.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what. So you got those in today?
We got them in a few days ago, and then we got posters. We've been putting together the whole entire record here. But this is where we edit music videos and stuff. So we've been here the past 3 days. We just finished. I finished 2 music videos today, and we got one more, and then but it's been taking a little bit, so we've been just getting everything together here, and having a great time doing it. Drinking a lot of coffee.
Nice. That's how you should do it. Some late nights getting some promotional shit out. And I've actually been digging the photographer you've been working with, because I've been seeing the stuff you've been posting off and on, and including the album cover, and it's very.
She's great.
Wait, who is it?
Erica. Yeah, she was here yesterday. She popped in. My friend Erica.
Oh,
yeah, she's
nice.
Let me tell you something about her. She just picked up a camera like 5 months ago for the first time. She's
really
just picked up a camera and then is now like Instagram famous with just blowing up out of nowhere. It's insane. Huh. She's like a photography prodigy. It's insane.
Well, it's very funny because you're always able to like every once in a while you're able to have like one of those savants that are able to just like pick something up and just be like completely talented in it, and they would never know until they like pick it up.
Right.
Like kind of like guitarists, artists that work with their hands, like either clay or paint, and or photography as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's the best person for that to happen to, because she's super humble, and the type of person she is, it's like she will always grow, she'll never think she's like amazing and never think that she's like the shit, when she clearly is,
Mm-hmm.
But my girlfriend Kara has been doing a lot of photography as well, and she's incredibly talented. It's insane. I'm like, out of everybody, I'm just terrible. Everybody around me is just so much better at what they do, and I'm always catching up.
Same. But that's actually very, very, very cool, because it also seems to tie in kind of with the rest of the and it's gonna sound really ridiculous coming at like now that I'm forming the sentence, the rest of the ambiance of the album, Like we had the video that came out very low exposure, and then you have the same kind of concept when it goes with the rest of the photos, and it just kind of seems to flow. It seems to flow very well.
You mean like dark and like kind of?
Yeah, like dark, very heavy with the shadows, not a lot exposed, and it's kind of like going with the rest of the theme of the album, of not completely like satisfied with yourself and all this stuff, and kind of being in like a darker place.
Well, that's what the record is what that video, and mainly I guess the whole entire theme of the record is about, especially Me On The Parkway, which is the video you're referring to, because it's the only one out. But that video is basically, and that song is about two lovers that really aren't supposed to be together. So they can't let their love grow or exist in public or in reality. So they have to meet up in between, while everybody's sleeping, they have to literally, their love is a shadow, So that's why it's so dark, and that's why there's so many shadows and low exposure, because they're literally existing. Their love is existing and growing parallel with, the outskirts of time. And that's basically what the whole record is about, that type of outlaw love that is forbid, forbid, whatever.
For forbade?
Forbade? I don't know.
Forbade? No.
But it's like that,
Yeah. And it seems to, and again, like I said, it flowed very well. All of it just kind of like seemed to come together. I found a perfect photographer for it. The time of year that's coming out, I don't know about anyone else, but I know that summer, this might just be the pop punk bone in me, but like, it's hot, it's Warped Tour, we're all going out, we're having fun, drinking friends, and now we're like coming across the tail end of winter, and we're just like, it's still cold, my heart is heavy, fuck.
Yeah, my record is, I'm not like that really. In the summer, I'm like, I slow down in the summer. The heat, I'm not really a summer guy, I'm a winter guy. So like, when the summer hits, I'm just like, oh God, it's so hot out. Like, it's just miserable for me for some reason. But yeah, this record its cycle is the summer. So it comes out March 4th. And then I'll be touring on it in May, and then all through the summer. And then for the rest of the year. But I guess in the respect of what you're saying, I guess it's more of like a summer night, like on the beach, summer night, windy kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm following.
Just a summer day, let's go to the boardwalk, it's more like a summer night after the boardwalk is everybody left the boardwalk,
It's starting to get a little bit more mellow.
It's more personal, more intimate,
Yeah, definitely.
The party ended, and everybody's asleep on the beach except for the two people by the fire that have been up all night,
And there's also a certain air that like will just come in. There's like certain sounds you're able to pick out during certain times of the day. Like that's why, and this is just me bullshitting because I've heard this maybe like once before. There's golden hour for filming, golden hour for recording. The sounds of snow. Being able to just like listen to rain and having like that kind of encompass you, and also like after the party, 2:30 a.m. stars are out, fires crackling. There's not a lot going on.
Yeah,
it fits that ambience.
Yeah. So yeah, like in my head, I always see, like when I was younger, You know, say if like there's you and your favorite or the girl that you're interested in, you know, your best friend or whatever, you go to the fair, you know, you're having a good time at the fair, but the record is about, hey, you want to get out of here? Let's hop in my car and go for a drive. Because growing up where I'm from in like Middletown and Red Bank, there was, especially for me, I don't drink, you know, I never drank when I was younger. How you spend time with people is you go on drives. You drive. And you drive through like Navesink, you drive through like Asbury, you just keep driving, you listen to music and you roll the windows down. And that's how you get to know each other. So it's kind of like that. You're pushing aside the main attraction and be like, all right, hey, you want to go for a drive, you know? And that's what it's about in my mind. I guess it's very hard to explain, but you know, very
and I know this is
intimate.
very intimate. That's very true. And pulling from another element that I kind of like picked out, if you can hold up your the CD cover again, and this might be pulling at straws, but if you took a look at it, we have the diner, and you seem to come from this kind of like old school vibe of just getting in your car and driving. You know, where would be like the one place that you would go back in the day to like, you know, get to know someone, like going on that drive.
Exactly.
And it might be me, you know, pulling familiar elements, but and I'm blanking on what the picture is called. But you know that one photo that it's very iconic piece with the gentleman sitting inside the diner.
Probably
It's like a famous.
it's a painting.
You're picking up, yeah.
I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to show
What are
me.
you talking about? It's like the New York City diner.
A New York.
Yeah, yep, yeah.
I don't know. I probably do. I'm the worst. But
Now
I know
now the main element from that I wanted to pick out from there was the diner and like having that old school feel. That was modern for that time, which is back in like, you know, 1950s. I want to say early 60s, and the you know the courting, I guess, process in which you're referring to with getting in the car, going and being intimate. That would be an old school feel, and I feel as if there's a very old feel. I mean, there's a very old school vibe with your music as well.
Yeah, and to touch on that, I agree completely, and it's because of my parents and my grandpa. You know, my grandparents. My grandpa is very, very old. This is his hat. In fact, he gave me this hat like a month ago. This is literally his hat from like his life. He gave it to me the day, and right, it was the same day I shot a music video that we just made, and I was like, oh, cool, we wear this, you know, and
Absolutely.
and the diner we just went to. My dad's been taking me to that diner. I can walk there from my house. You know, that diner is basically like, there was a period of time where me and all my friends, and my sister included, we all got dumped, you know, and we had nothing to do. So we would all just meet up at the diner and just eat, you know, and just hang out and fill the gaps in each other's lives that, you know, our significant others were not there for. But we just grew up going to that diner. You know, there's a song on the record called "The Dead Kids in the Middletown Diner." That's just our crew. We just hang out there. We went there today. We literally went there today.
I saw that photo. Yep.
We just go there every day, and I grew up going there, and there's a lot of memories there. But you're right. Like having being aware to romanticize on something like that isn't a natural thing unless you come from a background. If you have a dad like me who goes to the diner every day, who doesn't care about like really nice restaurant, he just wants to get his, you know, my dad's a union worker, you know, he just likes his bacon, egg, and cheese, and he's off to work and his coffee, you know. So you grow up in diners, and I don't know if you've noticed, but the car on right, that's my dad. That's literally my dad's car. Like he parked it in front of the diner, and that's me holding my actual girlfriend in front of my dad's car. Like it's a very natural thing, you know? And so I appreciate that you picked up on that, you know, because this whole record is a very honest, you know, natural project, because it has to be, you know, because I don't have anything else to give other than who I am, you know?
Exactly. So now we've delved into some part of the new record a little bit sooner than I wanted to, but you know, fuck it, Babetalk. How I wanted to start was actually like going through your musical history who you are, and then diving into your later work. But we've already gone on some of that. We'll continue to touch on that later into the interview. But let's first start with your involvement with music. How'd you end up picking up a guitar? Just saying, let me get into music.
My family is very musical, but mainly because I was a fan of music. You know, from a very young age. Touching on what we were saying before, my parents, my mom is Springsteen is the religion. You know, his
True.
like Born to Run, the lyric is the Bible in my house. You know,
Mhm.
Backstreets is like that essence that we were talking about, you know, like hanging out on the beach at 5 a.m, you know, with whatever, and it's getting to know people and stuff like that, like young, youthful summer night. That's what I grew up in. And I guess I'm an obsessive person to the point where from a very young age, you know, I kind of related Springsteen to my dad, kind of related Springsteen to my grandpa, you know, same with like Dylan and stuff. But it all just made so much sense to me to play guitar and try to be that. You know, I never identified with metal. I never identified with like Metallica or something like that. I always identified with Springsteen because if you look at like my dad, they look similar. So when you're like 4 years old, 5 years old, you know, so I just wanted to be, it wasn't even a conscious thing. It was just from the day I was born. It was
You kind of just like found yourself immersed into that
yeah, it was just
music
that.
style.
That's just my reality. So I just started playing guitar, and my mom would just always be listening to music when I was very young. And I have a lot of musicians in my family, and we would go to like family parties, and my uncle would play, you know, covers. There was a cover band, but I got into punk rock because my babysitter, I was in 4th grade, my babysitter, her son was in a punk band, and they practiced in the basements of where I was babysat. And they went on to like, they didn't get too big, but they were like around when Thursday was blowing up.
Okay.
So like they would play like Chrome and stuff, and
Mhm.
I got into punk rock through that, and then I found like skateboarding and just the same old, like got into hardcore. But while I was doing back and forth and doing hardcore, I was parallel always doing what I'm doing now. Always. There was never a moment where I was doing only one. You know, only doing like punk or hardcore without that. It's just I wasn't good at that. You know, it's so much easier to yell into a microphone. It's so much easier to go crazy with your friends. And I was a very angry person, so I was the angry kid. You know, fighting in school, the whole thing, going to like 8 different high schools and stuff. You know, like your parents' worst nightmare. I was that earthling, and so I was very attracted to the violence and like the aggression and the adrenaline from, and just like that rebellious factor of punk and hardcore. Mainly hardcore, I never got into like the Misfits and stuff like that. I wasn't interested in it for some reason. But weirdly enough, I was really into like this. I was really into like Under Oath and like Thursday and like bands like that within hardcore.
Yeah.
Because it was more, I'm saying this very loosely. So, and to think about hardcore and punk, out of like Shattered Realm and like E-Town Concrete, which were huge when I was in middle school and high school. I'm 25. Versus Under Oath and Thursday, who is more closer to Springsteen and like Joel and like Dylan? Probably because they're actually singing, you know, and they're
Yeah.
And that emotion was tied into that more than like or more than like Shadow Realm and stuff like that. So I would go home and I would listen to those bands a lot more. Versus then I found like Cursive. Then I found like Seven Angels, Seven Plagues was a big thing for me. That metalcore band, because they had a lot of clean parts, and they had Jasmine's Lullaby, the piano part. It was just piano, and I was just like, this is amazing, you know. And as time went on, I would always find bands like that, and I guess it would keep me progressing musically, because it wasn't just a standstill of breakdowns and like moshing. You know, it was a musical progression that I was finding, you know. Nobody can just write those. Like if you listen to like any Misery Signal song, it's pretty hard to play. Like Failsafe is insane. Those, you know, they go to clean channel, then distort. You can't just do that. And when you are in high school, it's pretty heavy stuff, you know, to learn and try to figure out, you know, versus like I said before, a standstill. But I love like Shattered Realm. Those bands are like one of my favorites ever, you know. So it was all that going on in my head, but then at the same time, my natural roots of music, of like Springsteen and Dylan and whatever it may be, you know. And it just went back to a full cycle, you know. More tours I did in hardcore, that means more songs I wrote in the back of the van on my acoustic. And then it ended up where I was making a hardcore record, and I wrote the whole thing on an acoustic, and we just plugged it in. Weird, right?
A tiny bit, because that's not like a traditional way to make a hardcore song.
No, in fact, there's a song Left Alone by Back and Forth, and it was the song structure is pretty pop culture like. It's just intro, verse, chorus, verse 2, bridge, chorus, outro, you know?
Yeah.
Because I wrote it on an acoustic, and it was a folk song.
Okay.
Yeah, and we just plugged it in, made leads, and just like played really fast, and I yelled instead of actually like singing the melody. But so I guess over time, as I matured with my songwriting, the evolution of just from yelling and just being a pissed off skateboarder, you know, who wanted to break everything because he wasn't getting his way. Everything my parents had me around just kind of found its way back, you know, and it dominated me fully. It was really weird to put into words, you know.
So what I'm hearing, to kind of like put it in a plainer context, was that the classics like kind of like, you know, set your groundwork, and then you kind of like, you know, build your home around that with how you write, how you've actually went and performed, and that, especially with your acoustic end, because now you're telling me that, like, you know, Back and Forth is what a lot of people before had known your performance to be, was actually still driven on some classic rock, some traditional rock, pop type of mentality of chorus, verses.
Oh, of course.
That kind of structure.
All Back and Forth they were love songs. They were like heartbroken love songs. They weren't like, you know, I want everybody to destroy this room, you know, and like this guy in this. I didn't care about things like that. I wasn't like interested in like, this guy is doing hardcore wrong, or this guy is not benefiting the scene. I was just like, dude, I'm not having a good time with my life, and this is me writing. And I'm just so happened to be in this band, you know? So they were all love songs, more or less, you know, about a girl. The same way like the guy from Bayside will write a song about a girl, you know, leaving or something like that. It was just, I didn't see the difference because I grew up on. And if anybody's ever seen Back and Forth, I modeled my stage presence off of like Bruce Springsteen without a guitar. You know, if you watch the first ever UK appearance of Bruce Springsteen in the E Street Band, you will see he does not have a guitar, and he's just running around the stage smashing it as if it was a hardcore band.
Now, okay, that would make sense, because I was going to say, like, I don't believe I've seen Back and Forth many times, but I do remember the one distinct time. This is when I was doing photography really early, when I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember you used to go in front of the stage. You told people, like, up here, here's where I'm at. I need room. And you were going off like the speaker set from like, you know, high rises, and well, not the high rise, like high rise for the boneyard, but you were still like high energy everywhere around the room. That now makes sense.
Yeah, you have to, because I don't know, it's just, and it all comes back from being young and being exposed to something that I could have easily been exposed to that and not been obsessed, but for some reason I was obsessed, and I looked up to that dude Springsteen, and I looked up to those guys. You know, it's weird, like without sounding pretentious or without sounding like too cliche, which is stupid. I'm going to say it anyway because
That's what you feel.
yeah, I don't believe in saying stuff like that or like, but I don't know why I said that. The front men of these bands or front women were the only friends that I had really growing up, and still are the only friends that I have. You know, because if I get into, I'm the kid who gets into a really dark mindset and will go listen to Backstreet's, you know, off Born to Run or Racing in the Street, which reminds me of my dad talking about his car, you know, because that's the first line is from Bruce talking about his car, you know, and what type of car he has. And it reminds me of my dad yelling through the garage and walking to 7-Eleven at 4 o'clock in the morning, really bummed out for whatever reason, you know, like that was the type of kid I was, you know. I was so emotionally, and I still am, and I'm getting more and more as I get older, and emotionally invested in music. And these guys and these songs were the only friends that I had. They were the life that I live, you know. And it's really could be detrimental to your life, but it's a complete obsession. It's almost as if like you like destiny, you know. I'll go and say it. It's almost like destiny. It's just insane to be that, to identify and to be that devoured by something you were inspired by. And not a lot of people understand that, you know. Not a lot of people understand that. Somebody who does understand it is Christine from Twin Coves. She understands that, and that's why we get along very, very, very well. She gets it, you know. And that's why what we were talking about before, there's no breaks for pleasure. We've been here for days because this is our hobby too. You know, this is why we exist. This is not, we don't get off work, do this, and then go to the bar. You know, we have shit to do.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
You got to put in, you got to put in that work for something that you completely believe in, something that you really love in.
But not even that, because if I don't, then it's an itch that you have to scratch, you know, and you better hope that the itch never goes away, because then you're satisfied and then it's over, you know. It's an obsession, and it everything around me is a mess except for this, you know. It's insane. My girlfriend wants to kill me. It's terrible, but
now it's also interesting that you had brought up that it's getting this devoted to a lifestyle of music, having it become detrimental, having it, but like this is where you find your solace.
Yeah, it's not. Some people say their music and whatever they're obsessed with is their art, whatever they're creating, you know, is an extension of their self. It's how they express them. So it's me. It's it. You know, it's everything. It's why I wake up in the morning, you know? And it's hard to love other things. It's hard because you love that so much. It takes such a big toll, you know? And it's a really wild feeling. And to do it without any care of to get any recognition or to get any attention, I really don't fucking care, you know? Don't care, because I make it for me, you know? And if people want to, you know, emotionally invest in that, then I'm flattered. But if not, I'm going to keep making songs, because it's like a diary. It's just what I've been making and recording songs since I was like, I can't even remember. So a little kid, you know. I remember I would, in my bedroom, I had this guitar with no strings. I got in the back. I was, I think, 4 years old. I went up to Pennsylvania with my dad, who hangs out with my dad and my uncle. My uncle builds motorcycles, you know, in Pennsylvania. And we went to his garage, and I was in the bed of a pickup truck that my dad was driving, was hanging out, and my uncle gave me this guitar. And it was banged up, this electric guitar. I was like, this is insane. Are you kidding? What? And There's no string. I broke all the strings eventually, but I used to put it like on my chair, and I would pretend like the headstock was a microphone, and I would just blast like whatever music I was into at the time, and I would just pretend like I was performing. This was in like elementary school. I would just all day, I would rush home and pretend like I was performing. And I would have my guitar. I don't remember what kind of guitar, probably some acoustic or something. I got an acoustic when I was very young, and I would just pretend like I was performing all day. And it was like I would dream about it in school. And I would just, like, the bell would ring, I'm out, because I could walk home from where I went to school, because I live around the corner. I would run home, and I would just jam. I would just pretend while I would just turn the radio up to whatever CDs, you know, like the Essentials or whatever was out, like Blink or something. You know, there was Sum 41, something like that.
Yeah, the classics. But that also like you know puts that in the same mindset of that now you're going to step beyond just singing along. You're now performing along with it.
What was that?
I said now that makes you go like a step above, you know, just singing along with the song. You're now performing along with the song. So now you're embodying your entire self with it.
Yeah. It's always just been. I've always been devoured by it. You know, it's very odd. It's very odd, but. And as I get older, I get more into it and more into it. You know, it's usually you fade away, you kind of like grow up, which I understand. It's not like a bad thing. You know, some people grow out of music and they grow up. You know, that's a good thing. You know, because they'll better their lives. You know, they weren't that passionate about it. They weren't that into it anyway. But as I get older, I get more into it, and I progress because I'm a progressive person. So I try to get better and better and better and better and better, you know? So I get more devoured in it, in everything, you know? Because like I said earlier, I like rap. I like a lot of rap, a lot of underground rap too. I like, so I'm singing on hooks for rappers, you know, I'm singing R&B songs that probably are never going to get released, but I have all the gear to do that, you know? Because I engineered the whole record myself, more or less. So just... And I surround myself with people that are progressive people too. You never want to hang out with people when you're trying to. The goal is world domination. You know.
True.
Why would you want to? You can't slack off. You know.
It's like growing stagnant. You know. It's you got to keep moving and progressing yourself into a better to a better form of yourself.
Yeah, and I'm just you know it's just like. That separates the boys and the men, I think, of just in life in general, you know, hustling. And that's just what we've always been doing. It's just always getting better, learning, trying to get better, and creating. And just learning through trial and error. If we're not doing music, shooting video. If we're not doing that, then like Pesh was screen printing shirts. So like, oh, we need shirts, dude. And we would learn. Like, oh, now can you take photos and do photos? Then now he learned video, you know, and now I'm learning how to edit videos. I'm directing videos, you know. It's just you gotta be visionary, you know.
And that's so admirable because like there are so many bands that will just like put out a sound, and not to compare bands because everyone has their own mojo, you know, like everyone has their different way of doing things. But it seems like you're the type of artist that will just like, you know, go and get their hands dirty. But then again, like the artists that you're listening to, it's kind of going hand in hand with the culture, you know, like Springsteen, Dylan, they're all kind of coming, especially in Jersey. Jersey's a very blue collar state.
Yeah.
So we're very hands-on kind of people and want to like, you know, do it ourselves. You're a man, you get the calluses on your hands and you do it.
Yeah.
And
the only way. I just don't understand how you don't live like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like, how do you put gas in your car if you don't work?
Mooch off your girlfriend.
Like, I don't believe, yeah, like, I don't understand how you can sleep at night. Like,
yeah.
But I don't really sleep at night because I have something on my mind. I'm like, I gotta do this. I want to do this. I want to learn this. Or this, my new favorite record's coming out. I want to, you know, I'm just like freaking out. But
Yeah.
no,
But then you take that mindset and you now apply it to your music. The hardworking ethics that you had growing up and seeing embodied around you, you apply it to your music.
yeah, because my dad would just kick my ass. If
Yeah.
like not like literally, but like because my dad's like the best person in the world, but like my dad would be like, dude, I raised you better, man. Like you gotta work hard.
Yeah.
You know, work hard. Just hard work
Mhm.
pays off, and you have to be relentless. You know,
Mhm.
that's I think not just music, in life in general. You know, I think that you can't go wrong there. So, but yeah, that's just the way I was raised. You know, especially being from New Jersey. New Jersey is a very working class area. And we all like have jobs. Well, I don't now, but like we all work full time. You know,
Mhm.
we were all always working, and we get off work, and then we keep hustling. You know, and
Keep the hustle alive. Exactly.
yeah. So it's
So now I kind of want to switch gears. We've gone over you and yourself, your work ethic and your music. What about the scene that you're also a part of? You had made mention that you have always wanted to do the music for yourself, but how have you seen the music community around you help you towards being a better artist, or is it helping you become a better artist with those that you surround yourself with?
I don't really I'm not really a part of any scene. And
Okay.
in fact, I'm the guy that people don't really want to associate with. People don't uh people, you know, they push me aside. And I think that's because I don't subscribe to their scene.
Hmm.
You know, I think it's because I'm the dude who I'll be like, dude, I'm not gonna sell myself short. You know, and to be a part of his scene, it doesn't make any sense to me because his scene is um it's supposed to be free, but you're following rules. And I don't get that. So like I never really was down with the scene. You know, I just have my friends, I have my little squad, and we do our thing. And if you're into it, that's great. You can we appreciate it. If not, you're not going to stop us. This train is moving forward, and with or without you, and you can get in front of it if you want and have fun with that. But you're not stopping us, and it's and no scene affects me in any way, shape, or form because they don't usually want me, and I don't really care either way to have them or not. You know, I'm nice to everybody, but I don't really. I'm not a scene guy because
That makes sense.
because to be in scene you have to go to a lot of shows and stuff like that. I did when I was younger, but I'm in the studio. I don't go to shows. I'm in the fucking studio, making records, progressing what I got to do. You know, I don't do that anymore, really. You know, I would like to, I guess, go see, get out more, but I don't really. There is pleasure in that for a lot of people, but like I said, pleasure to me is creating. And I'm not creating anything, and I don't drink. I'm not a bar guy, so like I can't even like get down that way. But like I steered away from your question a little bit.
Well, no, because it's still going on to your whoa, heavy echo. I think we got it. Okay, there we go. It's still going back to the fact that it's how you were built and how it still plays into your music. So it still goes with your personality, and it's never to knock like not being a part of a music community in a sense of you if you're having like a core circle of friends or anything along the lines of that, but you still go out and you still perform music. People still like you, and you're one of the artists that I do see that tours a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that means if I tour a lot, then yeah, I guess I make appearances in scenes and stuff, play like scenes and but I just did a tour of Sammy K, and he's from Asbury. Everybody loves Sammy. He's like the best dude. It's so weird because that dude didn't really play scenes. Our tour didn't go to scenes. It just went to music lovers, people who liked music. And that was very refreshing, you know, playing to people who just wanted to hear music and were interested without any hidden agenda, you know, they were just honest people who were like, I like music. And that's why they were there, you know, as opposed to any political hidden agenda with the scenes usually have on any scale whatsoever. But maybe it's changed. I don't know. I've been in the studio.
my homie pick us. Yo, what's the Drake line? You ain't left the condo.
What is it?
You ain't left the condo. The theme for if you're reading this, it's too late was about Drake just like, you know, keeping his head down and coming out with these bangers. Like the album that just recently came out secretly. Yeah, so
he said something good on me and Swan were just talking about this yesterday. Talking about Drake. He said something on.
I don't remember what we did yesterday.
The first song off, Nothing Was the Same. What is it? Something leather. He said
Tuscan leather. Tuscan leather, yeah.
Like
oh yeah.
Oh, is it? You guys talking like you're starters, but you're always on the bench. I hate it, or something like that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so good. You know, it's so good because the people who are on the bleachers will always critique the people playing on the field. Will never get down there to play themselves, and that is why I don't get along with scenes. Plain and simple. It's just why I don't get along with scenes because they just don't like me. I don't know why. It's a good thing though, I guess, right? So it's not relevant.
Yeah. Well, it's because you're keeping your head above the bullshit. So you're able to keep a clear head. There's no politics. There's no drama.
Yeah.
Keep your head above water. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
So I also want to go in. I'm sorry.
I don't know that reference. It's head above water this year, boys.
Well, you're talking to pop punk kids, so
don't know that, you know, these days.
That is true. Yeah. Oh God, man, you're showing age now. Oh, that was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them at a VFW in Homedale. Like,
what are you talking about?
Like, what was that?
20 years
Show.
Oh, the Wonder Years, and they were on tour with Energy and Lost for Words.
Yeah, what was that? 6 years ago?
It was 2010, 11?
2000? No.
No, it was 20. No, because I was in college.
Yeah, 2010, 2000.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Nobody
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah, 2009.
It was awesome.
That, and it's funny that they're now they just had their 10-year tours, and it's like, fuck, am I that old now?
They're a great band. Love them.
Yeah, they're cool. They're very cool. Going back to you though, the one thing that before I kind of knew who you were as an artist, I've known you as Matty from Back and Forth. You touched about your angry days and how you had all this frustration and how you still had going out and just being the high energy, angry, hardcore kid in Back and Forth. How would you say the creative differences or creative expression changes from Back and Forth to now your solo acoustic stuff?
It's the same. It's the same exact thing. It's probably, if not, it's probably more angry and more heartbroken now. Because I have more tools in the shed now. Hardcore is very limited. There's a ceiling. Now I knocked it all. I knocked it all down. So I have more tools. I have more options. To express more emotions. So it's probably more emotional. It's definitely more angry, and I write a majority of my stuff. It's all personal stuff, So the writing process for me is like something happens where somebody's eating away at me, and then 5 months later I'm like, yo, I made up what just happened, and I have a record. That's
pretty cool though.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, whoa, I just made a mess, and because I'm just like freaking out,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to suppress my pain, with just putting blood on the page, basically. And I mean, I still get the same it's the same outlet, yelling into a microphone and running around on stage versus singing and sitting there finger picking. It's the same for me. It's really weird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you did make mention saying that your music is your diary, so that would make sense as to, I guess, no matter what you're writing, it still ends up, like you said, blood on the page. It's still
Right.
you getting yourself out.
Yeah, it's, I mean, it has to come out somehow, you know. And yeah, I mean, some people, right, I listen to a lot of music where it's not personal, but I create a lot of music that's not personal like that, just for fun and stuff, to exercise some muscles. But
Smart, good.
But yeah, for some reason like that, just I become obsessed for some reason, and I just gotta suppress pain, and that's just how I do it. And I'm thankful that I have that, you know.
Yeah. Now, I've been so wrapped up in listening to you that I kind of forgot to pull up your song that we're going to be showcasing. And because I am a creature of habit, what I usually do is I ask my guests to kind of introduce their song, which the one we're going to be playing is Me On The Parkway. However, you kind of already delved into it earlier with, like, you know, describing the
It's outlaw love, basically, and just being not your love not being accepted by the world, and growing on the outskirts of town and meeting up in diner parking lots at 2 a.m. on like a Monday, you know, and just stuff like that, you know, just kind of growing in shadows, basically, just that outlaw love.
Well, you know what? We're gonna shut the fuck up, and we're actually gonna let the cool people listen to the song that I can't get enough of this shit. And this is not me sucking your dick. I'm actually very excited to hear what else is being put out. So I'm gonna shut up. We're gonna listen to this song, "Me On The Parkway" off of Loveless. And 1, 2, 3, here we go.
Awesome. Her misfortune behind broken teeth led to burning diamonds under her feet. The rest stopped mirrors and the lonesome heat. Savannah alleyways intrigue while you're with him. Keeper of my heart, how does he sit? 'Cause every step of love you read in sin. Every Tuesday the cinema asks me where you've been. No, but where have I been? So meet me on the parkway when I come home.
those pills send me on my way. The dark I've been showing progress along the way. No, no, until today. Meet me on the parkway when I come home. We'll send that dead on real hearts home. What's done is done, darling, just let it go. Arms across the telephone wires to me so meet me on the parkway when I come home. We'll settle that debt on real hearts home. What's done is done, darling, just let it go. Arms across the telephone wires to me so meet me on the parkway when I come home.
All right. What's that face for? What are you doing?
I had to turn the volume up.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Also, because it's actually very cool because you're now telling me that you kind of like, went and done the video yourself. You learned how to edit. You learned how to kind of get a direction for video. And that's not an easy task at all, especially with those that this is a podcast, so I don't know how many people are actually going to be watching it. But I completely implore you guys to go and watch the video, mattycarlock.com, right there on the site. Take a look at the video for your first endeavor going out and just like filming a video. It's crazy.
Yeah, so what people don't know is I dabbled in editing videos when I was younger, filming skate videos. So I made a lot of skate videos, and I was in like middle school and high school, and then I just stopped like doing it all together and focus on music. And then I just got so sick and tired. There's nothing worse than having a vision and having the ambition and then relying on people who aren't reliable. It's just like, there's nothing worse. Mike Brown's killing it. And there's nothing worse than that. And I just got so sick of it that I was just like, dude, I'm just going to do this myself. Because I used to do it, and I was just not even to like flex the muscles of like DIY, because I really don't. I don't care about that, really. Like, big bands are cool to me. I don't like. I understand like a lot. Most of the bands I like have a lot of help from corporate like backing, and I understand that, and I think that's cool too. But I was just like, things are not getting done, and so I pulled my cousin in who just started filming, kind of, and I reached out to Mike Pesh. He's like one of my best friends, but I got a hold of him. I was like, yo, can you shoot half of it? I'll direct it, I'll write it. Rob, can you just shoot half of it, my cousin? And he was like, yeah. And then we just went out and had a lot of fun, and then I got all the footage, and I sat down and I made the video in like less than 2 days. Me On The Parkway, I edited it. Yeah, less than 2 days. I put that all together with all the footage. And then we finished it like 10 minutes before it went live.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I learned Final Cut again just by being like, why isn't this working? Just like this needs to get done now, and I'm going to figure it out right now, and just that pursuit of obsession, and something needs to happen. Mm-hmm. And basically just fucked up for like 2 days. And I was like, all right, this is good. And just put it out.
I mean, not to continue on the trend of quoted in one ears, but fucking up until we get this right,
Yeah, exactly. Well, that guy knows what's good. I've never met him, but like I hear good things, and that guy like literally toured Europe DIY, like multiple, like that band was like a super DIY band before they got signed. The Hopeless, right? Hopeless. But
No Sleep and then Hopeless. Ugh, God, I now know what band's record labels they're on. I'm getting bad.
yeah. But yeah, that kind
But
of
yeah. So it's cool. Again, guys, Loveless is going to be coming out on the 4th of March.
yeah. And then 4th of March, and I'll be touring on it in the States in May.
You'll be touring on in May. MattyCarlock.com. Go watch the video. There's a lot of elements that kind of realize how dangerous they could be when you're like, just filming yourself. So don't let the man film this shit for no one to watch it. And it's great. The music that Matty, you're putting out is fantastic. I'm finally glad that I've gotten a moment to sit down and actually talk with you after seeing the amount of talent that I've seen on stage and through photography. And it's fun to get to know the people that are in my area and that they're kicking ass.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. I'm sorry that Sweato ruined it. Like he does mostly.
You're sick, dude. You're the coolest friend I have.
You might have seen him in the pits.
Oh my god.
He's
I probably have seen him in the pits.
I've seen him in the mud.
I see the vest. It's kind of like a single mother's vest, like just go in and just like start crowd punching like anyone that mall walks.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sweato usually goes to the mall, on a Friday night. You'll catch him in the mall just hate moshing, and like
Just walking.
he
just sees like 13-year-olds walking out of like
he's good. This is mine, and he'll just punch people and zoomies and stuff.
It's perfect. The parents are like too afraid to say anything, so it just goes on like unaccounted for. It's perfect. But this is where we're gonna can the show. Again, great interview, great talking with you, great mindset. It's fantastic. I can't say enough. Matty.com. Not Matty.com. That might be a totally different website. MattyCarlock.com.
I don't want to know what's on that.
We'll certainly see. If not, I'll buy the URL and I'll give it to you. Go check this shit out. Next week on Babetalk, we're going to have, I believe it's going to be a bunch of Jersey kids again. Keanu from Cherry Pit Magazine is going to be on Tuesday, and then Luke from Clearview for fans of Title Fight, for fans of, I want to say, merchant ships. What's more emo? Old Gray. Emo bands. Everyone loves emo. Fucking just
Earthlings. They're all Earthlings.
We're all Earthlings. Go on to Babetalk. Figure out what Earthlings are going to be on the show. It was great talking to you. Everyone enjoy your Thursday night and the rest of your lives. We'll see you next week. Enjoy everything that comes to you.
Hope you all have a terrible Thursday.